This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smokin Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, PIERCEBE Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and MMENs. The nightly podcasts are Palace Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you like all the shows.
All right, and welcome to another edition of the Wrestletalk Show. My name is Ralph Williams, along with Smokin Jim Frazier, my co-host by way of the phone. And today we have a lot to talk about here tonight, and we're here every single Tuesday afternoon, 5 to 6 p.m. Here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and also on the Kick Network and the Huddle Sports Network as well. And I want to thank Pensman Sports, who is my monitor, who will handle all comments and will let me know which ones to post. So if it doesn't involve the topic, please do not comment unless it involves the topic, or if there's something that you want to add that's of positive nature and not of negative nature, please do not bother to put any kind of comments, derogatory or whatnot on here as well. All right, we're in the Mata Heating and Air Conditioning Studios here at Studio 10 in Berlin, Maryland, 724-201-0500, Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. And we're also sponsored by Mike Dotson Realty, Ocean City, Maryland, area code 410-596-1681. Mike Dotson Realty for renters. If you want to rent a place, if you want just a summer rental, or if you want to buy a place, call Mike today. That number again is area code 410-596-1681. I wanted to bring a programming note to you tonight at 7:30 p.m. I will be on with these guys, the Sports Nuts. 7:30 p.m. tonight, I will be a guest on their show. Tune in. They're on Facebook and YouTube. And please do not forget to like and subscribe to their YouTube channel and follow them on their Twitter pages and Facebook and other social media platforms. We are all working together as podcasters here to try to work together with one another to try to promote other brands. Brian Pettit, the Tiger Stripes Media. Please don't forget to tune in and like and subscribe to his stuff as well. He's doing a lot of stuff right now on college football, fantasy football, and whatnot. So, you might want to tune into some of Brian's programming. Pensman Sports, New York Yankees, Pittsburgh Steelers. He does a lot of great shorts and puts some good programming on as well for this. Like and subscribe. And please don't forget to work with these guys as well. Smokin Jim, welcome to the program. Great to have you today.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Most fun thing to do all week.
I know, man, isn't it? This is the best show of the week, I think. I mean, and it's great that we get to sit here tonight or today and talk about Clash of the Champ or Clash at Paris. I actually thought it wasn't a bad pay-per-view. I have made my sentiment statements at the beginning before on Sports Corner earlier that Roman Reigns, I personally believe, did it to himself with this tsunami stuff with the Bronson Reed. Now, it has nothing to do with Paul Heyman. We already know all about that stuff. He did what he did to Paul Heyman. I get that. I don't have a problem with that. And I have a problem with him winning the match. What I had a problem with Smokin Jim was when he went after he got the shoes back, instead of taking the shoes and getting out of Dodge, he went up and started standing up on the announce table, autographing shoes to throw into the fans. If Smokin Jim, he would not have done that, I think he would not be in the hospital today. Your thoughts on what I just said?
Wow. Yeah, I agree with that, man. You got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. And once he got his shoes back, man, he should have been getting out of Dodge.
Exactly. I mean, here you beat a guy like Bronson Reed. You beat a guy like that. Okay. You go ahead, you beat the man, and then you get your shoes back. And then you got to even add cherry to the sundae. You were able, and even added peanuts to the sundae by simply dissolving Paul Heyman. Wasn't that enough? No, he had to stand there and sign shoes and give Braun Breaker an opportunity to come out and spear him, and then Bronson Reed to get back up and come out and do. I would have grabbed my shoes. He did what he did to Heyman, grabbed my shoes and got right out of Dodge and said, screw it, we're done. This day's over. I'm finished. I'm done. No, he wanted to sign shoes and throw them out into the fans. I think he did that. That was the worst part of this whole thing that he could have done to himself. And I thought that what he did was terrible. And I thought that he should have never did that. And I'm very frustrated with Adam Pearce because right now I think Bronson Reed and I think Braun Breaker should be fired for their atrocities of what they did to Roman Reigns. Okay, to begin with, I've been preaching about about these general managers who claimed they were supposed to crack the whip when TKO took over, and they haven't done anything of that kind. Both shows are out of control. Your thoughts, Smokin' Jim?
Yeah, I can't add anything to it. I agree with you, man. And just all we can do at this point is pray that Roman recovers.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, next. Let's talk about the clash in Paris. I thought the one match that I really had. I can't stand Jake Paul. I can't stand Jake Paul or Logan Paul. In fact, getting away from wrestling for a minute here, I hope Tank Davis knocks Jake Paul's block off in November. I really do, because I've had enough of both of them. But I will give Logan Paul credit this time. This match against John Cena, I thought was one of his better matches, despite the fact he lost. But it was a good match. He actually had to sweat it out a lot. And John Cena really gave him a match. And Smokin' Jim, I think you'll agree with me. Big match John came through again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can agree to disagree about the Paul brothers. I think the Paul brothers are great, but I know you'll never agree with me there. But yeah, that was a heck of a match.
Well, I got a bunch of emails. Oh, you're just jealous because Logan Paul's a millionaire, or he's making money podcasting and doing social media, and you're not making money. Let me tell you something. I'm content with what I have. I don't care who makes more money than me. I don't care who does better than me. All I know is I'm doing what I'm doing. And if this is the path that God wants me to go, I'll stick with it. But don't worry. Sometimes the good guys finish last. And you know what? I'm going to finish last. And guess what? I might finish last, but I might finish the best. Okay? So those of you out there who are Logan Paul fans that burn up my email telling me that you think I'm jealous of Logan Paul. I'm not jealous of Logan Paul. I just think that Logan Paul doesn't belong in a wrestling ring because he's not a full-time wrestler. Now, I know what you're going to tell me. Well, Bill Goldberg don't belong in it anymore. Well, he's retired. Brock Lesnar don't belong in it anymore. Wait a minute. Brock Lesnar is and was a full-time wrestler at one point. There's a difference there now, folks. So don't sit there and give me any slack about about I'm picking on Logan Paul. No, I'm telling the truth. The fact of the matter is Logan Paul does not belong. And he disrespects the locker room with his antics and his attitude and everything else. That is what I have a problem with. The man is a part-timer who doesn't belong in the wrestling ring. He's nothing but a showboat. That is a podcast, as Cena has said, he's a podcaster. That is all he is. Okay? I don't go out and do wrestling. I don't go out and do boxing. I don't go out and ride, do water sailing or any of that other stuff. Why? Because I can't. Why? Because I don't have those kind of talents. I don't try to do something that I cannot do. You see, and that's what Logan Paul's trying to do. And I don't like him as a wrestler, and I think he's very disrespectful to the wrestling industry as a whole and the brand itself. Okay, and I believe that, and that's just my thoughts on Logan Paul. And everyone can hate me for it. I don't care. All right, and if I lose viewers or whatever, I don't care, because you know what? That's just my thoughts on Logan Paul, and you need to respect those thoughts, because that's exactly what it is. And it's too bad that this guy. It is too bad. I don't know what anyone sees in this man. I have no idea what he does that anyone sees in anything. I mean, I'm doing what he's doing, but why can't you subscribe to my channel? You see what I'm getting at? All right. And no, again, I'm going to tell you, I'm not jealous. I'm just telling you the facts. And the fact of the matter is, this guy is nothing to me. He's nothing. He does nothing for me. I have no use for the man. And I don't like the way he's disrespected the wrestling business. And I do agree with all the locker room as far as that goes. Next, Rusev versus took on Sheamus. Again, here we go. I'm not a Rusev fan, but I will give him credit because he came out to fight in this match more than Sheamus. What do you think, Smokin' Jim?
Yeah, yeah, I was surprised. I picked Sheamus to win this one, but like you said, man, they them guys really they come to fight. They're bangers, and so the upset didn't surprise me that much because whoever gets the advantage and the momentum is going to win. But I thought Sheamus going in was going to win, but the other guy really earned that victory.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I thought it was an interesting match, and it was something different, Donnybrook match, but it was something interesting. I actually thought Sheamus was going to win because he has more experience in doing these kind of matches. Rusev's never. I don't believe that I've seen Rusev in any of these kind of matches. So I actually kind of thought that Sheamus was going to actually beat him, and the way the ending came, the way he pinned him and everything, I was like, wow, Rusev really means business. I mean, this was just the type of match that I thought he really meant business with this as well. All right, let's get to our next match. Let's talk about Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed. Roman Reigns won this match. I thought he did a good job based on the fact that he had to fight a guy the size of Bronson Reed. The thing is, though, Roman kind of looked down. I mean, I wouldn't say down, but he didn't look like his cardio was there. But he was in this match, and he did win. And I got to give him kudos for that because I didn't think he could beat Bronson Reed. I really didn't. On the fact that because of the momentum right now with him in this faction division, as far as we can see. And so your thoughts on this match, Smokin' Jim?
I think I pretty much gave my thoughts, but yeah, I'm like you. I was pulling for Roman Reigns. I didn't think he'd be able to, beat Bronson Reed straight up like that. But the aftermath of it, I thought Roman should have been a little bit smarter.
Yeah, exactly. And those of you who just tuned in right now, at the beginning of the show, I brought up my thoughts about what happened to Roman Reigns is his fault. Part of it is Adam Pearce's fault for not doing his job. Adam Pearce should be fired. Bottom line, what those guys did to Roman Reigns, to me, was unacceptable. I know he tossed him out of the building for Seth Rollins' match. But how about Seth Rollins coming up with his plan? How about that? No one expected that. No one saw that except one person, my wife. She said, I bet you Becky gets involved in this. And guess what happened? Becky Lynch got involved in that match, in that fatal four-way. Okay. It was an interesting clash at Paris. And Seth Rollins came up with another plan after he was, every time his back is against a wall, he comes up with something else. He didn't have Paul Heyman. He was out. He went to the hospital. He didn't have his boys because they got ejected from the building. He should have been suspended, fired, and fined or whatever. Okay. And now I'm hearing some stories. Speaking of that, and we'll talk about it after we're done dissecting Clash of Paris, Smokin' Jim. There's some rumors out there about Adam Pearce that he could get fired. WWE is involved in a lawsuit with a former wrestler whose name they have not mentioned due to legal ramifications here, who is suing the WWE, saying that Adam Pearce deliberately set their career back by doing some deliberate things. Now, I don't know what it was. They're trying to get the WWE for defamation of character and some other charges. I'm not sure exactly the whole logistics of this thing. I have to look at some more reports, but some of the reports that I read, he may be in trouble. And if that's the case, he may have to step down until the legal stuff is done. But I'm not exactly sure what it is yet. I will find out what happened, but that's the story of the reports that I've read so far in regards to that. All right, next, Smokin' Jim, before we get to the main event, Becky Lynch took on Nikki Bella. Your thoughts on that match?
I'd like to get your opinion on that one, bro.
Well, I knew Becky was going to win because I know Nikki's trying to make a comeback or coming back into wrestling as a Hall of Famer. They bring her in for what I call novelty purposes. And what I mean by novelty purposes is they bring these folks back to try to boost up some ratings, boost up viewership, get people more involved in the WWE. Smokin' Jim, when you go out there and you talk about wrestling to people, and, you know, our colleagues, Claudio, Rosano, and several other people, what do they tell you when you go out and talk about wrestling when they followed wrestling? During the Hulk Hogan era, right?
Right.
During the era when Hulk Hogan and Bruno Sammartino and all these guys were around, right?
You're right.
Okay. So WWE at times will bring in the Brock Lesnar's because there's a lot of people that love Brock Lesnar. There is times when they'll bring back Hall of Famer like Bill Goldberg, Kurt Angle maybe, Booker T, or whatever. Okay, why? Because they're what's called a novelty. There's somebody who still has a following, even though they're retired, even though they're a Hall of Famer. They still have this novelty to bring viewership to the WWE. That's what I think Nikki Bella does. Because Nikki Bella, in my eyes, shouldn't even be wrestling anymore. But that's me. That's my opinion. Stick with what you know. She does work. She's acting. She's doing work on E, that entertainment channel that I haven't watched in probably 50 years. Last time I watched E, I used to watch Howard Stern overnight when his radio show would re-air. But I haven't watched it since then. So I don't know what goes on E. So, but she does work there, and she's involved in documentaries, and she does publicity things for the WWE and things like that. That's what I call a novelty. She's somebody who, shows up. That's like if you do hookah, that's a novelty. Not everybody does hookah every day. You do it once every 6 months. You go to a hookah bar maybe once every 3 months or something. They call that a novelty. If you go to travel to, let's say you travel to Las Vegas every year, what is that? That's called a novelty. So Nikki Bella, to me, Smokin' Jim, and I think you might agree with me on this, is a novelty. And I think Becky Lynch could have probably fought somebody else, but it was good to have Nikki Bella at least try, in my eyes, and I thought it was a good match. And of course, I knew Becky Lynch was going to win. Your thoughts on that?
I agree with you 100%. You use some good analogies, to compare Claudio and Luther and their thoughts. But yeah, you were dead on, man. You nailed it.
All right, let's move on now. The final match of the night, the Fatal 4-Way for the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins, LA Knight, CM Punk, and Jey Uso. All right. Jay was busted up from trying to help Roman. He got crucified by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. If you ask LA Knight, they're two what did he call them last night? Sidewinders, side eyes, or whatever, zip winders or something. I forget what he called them last night. But anyway, that's why it's not LA Knight. It's Ralph Williams. Remember that. All right. So there you go. All right. Oh, I want to thank last week for the first half of the show. Last week I had something I had to do for El Ralpho Americano for filling in for me last week at the first part of the show. And so I want to thank him for that as well. Your thoughts on this Fatal 4-Way, Smokin' Jim?
I'll go after you. I'll let you go first, buddy.
All right. Well, I knew Seth had a plan, and I knew he wasn't going to go it alone. He never does. So how you doing, Pensman? Thank you for being part of the program. And as I mentioned, he is my monitor. He will let me know what's going on with the comments section, and will tell me what to do with different things as well. All right, with the comment section. Thank you, Pensman. So I think Seth did what he had to do. Becky Lynch got involved in the match. He won the match. He outsmarted everybody yet again. After you thought you had him down, his goons weren't there. Paul Heyman wasn't there. Everybody's like, well, this, that, and whatever. And the interesting part about this match is, Smokin' Jim, it's not that LA Knight got pinned or Jey Uso got pinned, but CM Punk got pinned yet again. And he screwed him yet again out of this belt. I mean, it started with the cash in, and it's worked its way around. And he has screwed CM Punk so bad that I don't know what CM Punk can do. And now, if you watch the events of last night, there's rumors going around now that two things could happen. And this is my thought. We'll talk about last night's Raw after I get your thoughts on that match. You there, Smokin' Jim?
You mean the Fatal 4-Way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I wasn't like your wife. I didn't see the man coming through, but it's always something. Seth Rollins is always thinking, man. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was kind of funny. I mean, I felt bad for CM Punk because he came back to the WWE with a championship and he can't seem to get one, And now he's talking to Adam Pearce about moving to SmackDown, and he will be Friday night for SmackDown because guess where it's at his hometown in Chicago. And he said he will be there. And I'm wondering if he wants to move on because he's tired of trying to fight Seth Rollins and Adam Pearce not doing his job to put CM Punk into position to win the belt. And that's something that I believe is frustrating them real bad, and that could happen as well. But I thought that LA Knight did a pretty good job of presenting himself in this match. I thought Jey Uso, based on his injuries, was able to come in. I give him a lot of credit for that, not backing down, even though his cousin, told him, go do the match. You need to win this. And I got to give Jay a lot of credit for that, and coming out and trying to even help him. No, he's not scared of Becky Lynch, Pensman. He's not scared of Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch better be careful, because I'm going to explain something to everybody here tonight or today here on this program. You ready? AJ Lee's coming back. Two things are going to happen here with this scenario. CM Punk will get his revenge. He always does. I've watched CM Punk over the years. When he gets revenge, he gets revenge. We'll get his revenge. How it's going to happen, nobody knows. We can speculate right now. So let me say how we're going to speculate on this. My speculation is, and my thoughts are, and if you ask Smokin Jim here, I'm usually right. I think either AJ Lee's coming back, or if you watched Raw last night, guess who was having a little bit of a conversation? Rhea Ripley and CM Punk. Rhea Ripley would be more than happy to go punch or knock out Becky Lynch for CM Punk. They're friends. They've been friends for years. So my question is, which one or both could come back? And if I'm Becky Lynch, I'd be very careful because AJ Lee is tough. She's working her way back to coming back to the WWE. She's about to sign a contract. And if she comes back, if that's what's going to happen, if not, I think Rhea Ripley. And I also believe that if there is going to be a Shield started, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, and AJ Lee or Rhea Ripley. Smokin Jim, your thoughts on what I just said?
I agree with everything you said, brother. I mean, you
okay, because
well,
it's
you're spot on.
CM Punk, when he gets his revenge, and I've watched him many times, he gets it. And I think that one of these scenarios is going to paint itself out. It has to. Because when you think about it, Roman Reigns' focus right now is on Paul Heyman. Okay? Jay and Jimmy are going to get back together. We saw that last night. I'm hearing stories that could happen. And they're going to go after the Judgment Day to get the tag team belts. That's where they belong. All right? If that's what I'm looking at. Painting what I saw on Raw last night. Okay? I think that's where they belong. Again, as I always use this thing, shoving a square peg into a round hole. And I get you want to make money off Jey Uso, but you got Seth Rollins there. It's a crowded field. You got LA Knight hungry for the belt. You got too many hungry people. I'm going to use this saying from the show Chicago PD. When Voight was trying to get rid of Denny Woods, and Denny Woods said to Adam Rusev, one of Voight's officers, there's two dogs and one bowl of food. Now you got, what, 4 dogs and one bowl of food. And that's the championship. And you got all these guys fighting over it all the time. And it's the same thing over and over again. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso getting back together, going after Judgment Day, getting the titles. You're the best in the business behind other than the New Day in the WWE. As far as top 10 tag teams in wrestling. And getting back together would be a novelty. And having them do it again. Chris Jericho coming. Yes, he is. That is it. Pensman, he is coming. They're working out the contract structure and details. He is coming to the WWE. I have that under some good authority. That I will say is true. But contract hasn't been worked out yet. Money, that kind of thing. He'll probably be a part-time wrestler because of his commitments with his band Fosse. So, you know, and I think Jericho wants to go out in the WWE. He's in his 50s, you know, so, and he's been battered and beaten in AEW. So I'm thinking maybe perhaps now it's time, just like Cena, to start wrapping things up and doing it in the WWE. Who better to do it than there? I mean, you know, I hear the Hardys are coming back to the WWE to wrap up their career. All right, so we'll see what goes on there. Where does the New Day go? Right now, they're like lost souls swimming in a fishbowl right now. Okay, they're not what they were before. How much more can Kofi take? Kofi's got that disease in his chest or something. He's got some kind of health deficiency. Xavier Woods has got some kind of neck injury, and he's trying to stretch. Okay, how much further do they go? All right, that's my question. There's a lot of guys out here now that the WWE has that we don't know how far they're going to go right now. And it's not looking, you know, we'll see what goes on from there. Your thoughts on Raw last night, Smokin' Jim? There were some interesting matches. I enjoyed the Oscar Kairi Zane match because I can't stand the New Day. I was kind of frustrated about the Dirty Dom match with AJ Styles, and of course, here we go, Dirty Dom with one of his plans. He's just like his uncle, or if that's his father, because there's been stories that might be his father. So Eddie Guerrero. That rumor's been going around for a long time. We don't know for sure, but But your thoughts on all this, Smokin' Jim? What was your thoughts on Raw last night?
Oh, it was an excellent show as usual. But have you always not liked New Day, or you just don't like them now?
I've always liked New Day. I still like them now. I've always been a fan. New Day rocks. New Day rocks.
I thought you just said you didn't.
No, I didn't say I didn't like New Day. I'm just saying that New Day is starting to get beat down. I mean, take a look.
Okay.
Kofi Kingston right now. He's in his 40s, and I told you he's got that chest problem. He's got some kind of something in his heart, and he for a while there he was only wrestling part time, and Xavier Woods is up there, and he's got a neck injury he's trying to hide. So I mean, and like Will Ospreay did with AEW, he hit that neck injury, and then it got worse in the last pay-per-view. The Death Riders tore him apart. Now he's in the hospital, and he might not be back. We don't know. I mean, you can't. I know you want to do it like Kurt Angle did. Everybody wants to be like Kurt Angle and try to wrestle with a broken neck, but you just ruin your career. Yeah, Roman Reigns will be out probably for a while, which will give him time to put the Shield together if that's what I believe he's going to do. I don't see another bloodline coming down the rails. If there is going to be another bloodline, Pensman and everyone out here, I think it's going to be with Jacob Fatu. I don't believe it'll probably be the Usos, maybe Jacob Fatu. I hear Rikishi's coming back to manage this other bloodline. Tama Tonga's due to come back from injury. I heard he's not happy with Solo Sikoa. He might join. You're going to see a battle of the bloodlines again, but it's not going to be with Roman Reigns, I don't think. I think Reigns he wants to get his Shield together and go up against Paul Heyman, maybe. I don't know. We're going to find out. We'll see where it goes. Anything can happen with the WWE. It's just like the NFL. Anything can happen, so we'll see what happens when Roman Reigns comes back. Paul Heyman's done. He's got the contusion in his larynx, which is in the throat area. So you won't be seeing him too much at all, hardly. And he's down for a while. So he's in the hospital again. So, that's the story with the injuries right now. And, and last night I again, Raw, I thought it was good until I didn't like the Dom Mysterio match, how that ended. I actually thought AJ had him. And then all of a sudden we got this El Grande Americano who happens to be Ludwig Kaiser. The other one that's been coming out is Pete Dunne. So those of you who want to know who they are, that is the El Grande Americano. And that's why I had what I had last week. Because if they can do it, why can't I? El Ralfo Americano. Why not? Right? There you go. So I thought it was pretty funny. I really did. I thought it was pretty entertaining.
I enjoyed it, brother.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty entertaining, to do that. Hey, why not? If Chad Gable can get away with it, why can't I? You know what I mean? So, All right, folks, let's talk about some wrestling events coming up. KSWA has got an event coming up here. They are going to be at the, hang on here. Let me see if I got the right one here. I want to make sure this is correct. Yeah, I believe this is the right one. Hang on a second. We got to take down this for a second here. Okay, yeah, KSWA Wrestling. They are going to be at the Millville Days coming up September 12th and 13th. Or I'm sorry. Well, here's September 20th at the West Hills area. KSWA is going to be involved in this here, I believe, in this here thing. This wrestling, their last appearance at the in Imperial, I believe, or somewhere out in that area, is going to be their final appearance. As you know, KSWA is hanging it up 50 year or close to 40 years, 50 years in the business, and they're wrapping it up. And so, you know, we're going to find out what you know what happens from there. Trapper Tom and you know, and all the guys there. We're going to see where they go. Blanchard, you know, we'll see where he goes. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. This is for September 20th. Now, I want to tell you about an event that they have coming up. Let's see here. I got it right here. Millville Days. If I can find the right banner. There we go. Nope, here it is. Millville Days, which will be on North Avenue next weekend. It's September 12th and 13th on North Avenue. There will be 2 nights of wrestling. They will be down by the VFW in the parking lot, right on North Avenue in Millville. So anyone's interested, Keystone State Wrestling Alliance, head there, check it out. And also don't forget October 11th at the Heritage Fire Company in Lewistown, Pennsylvania, the Sons of Mifflin County versus Gallows and Anderson, Smokin' Jim. There's a blast from the past. They're going to be at this event here. This wrestling event is called Heritage Harvest. So check that event out as well. Check out all these independent wrestling companies. There's some great entertainment at affordable prices. CSW Tournament of Death. Check them out September 6th. That's this coming Saturday. And this will be in, I believe this is the event here in Delaware in the Delmarva area here. So check this event out as well, CSW Wrestling. And also they have that event coming on. And so check that out. And let's see what we got here. I got the one where I want, and I think I have it right up here. There it is. The final match this Saturday, 4 p.m. under the Homestead Grays Bridge. The final match for T. Ranchula. FNW Wrestling presents the farewell match of T. Ranchula. This is his last match, 4 o'clock p.m. right under the Homestead Grays Bridge on at 12th and under the Grays Bridge. Check it out. You know, I wish I could be there for this event, but I got to tell you, this is one heck of an event under the Homestead Grays Bridge in Allegheny County, Pittsburgh area. Check out all these independent wrestling, and also around the Delmarva area here too, Maryland, Delaware. There's some good independent wrestling companies you can check out as well. All right, Smokin' Jim. Let's talk about AEW a little bit. Hurt Syndicate no longer tag champs. They lost their belts. Where do you see the Hurt Syndicate going for AEW? Go.
They got a chance to get everything back, but it ain't gonna be easy. I still don't know what happened between them and MVP. I think they need MVP to kind of guide them, their career, keep them on the straight and narrow. But they're a talented group. But you know, when you lose your title, man, you got to start back at the bottom and work your way back up.
Yeah, I have a scenario I'm going to paint right here. As you know, MVP and Bobby Lashley have history. I've seen Bobby Lashley kick MVP out of his camp for a few times. And what I'm thinking is what could happen, and I believe this to be the case. Shelton Benjamin's up there. He has his own gym, wrestling gym, that he runs. He also does wrestling clinics. I'm wondering if his schedule's getting a little bit too much for him. I know I've heard rumors his contract is up with AEW. Don't know if he's going to renew. Lashley wants to do singles matches. He wants to get involved in the title hunt and go after MJF if he was to win the belt or whatever. I think he's waiting for that to happen. MVP, on the other hand, maybe he'll manage a couple people or whatever, just like what happened when he was in the WWE and he had the Hurt Business, and then he started managing Omos, and he kind of faded away from there. Maybe it's time for him to fade away. I don't know. I'm just painting that scenario right now, Smokin' Jim, because I've heard stories. Lashley wants to do things individually. He doesn't want to be a tag team champion. He wants to be world champ. Everybody, when you're in wrestling, Smokin' Jim, it's just like when you're in the NFL. What do you want to do when you're in the NFL? What's your biggest accomplishment? What is the reason why you're in the NFL for?
Win a Super Bowl.
Exactly. So what do you want to do in wrestling? You want to win the championship. You want to be the man. You want to win the championship. Nobody wants the TNT championship there. Everybody wants to be the man. And right now it's Hangman Adam Page. Okay. I was impressed with his victory over MJF, which I was quite surprised. But remember, MJF still holds the clipboard. So he can set up a match anytime as long as it's 7 days notice. So which means Hangman Adam Page might have a match against Bobby Lashley, for instance, and MJF can include himself in that match and say, as long as he gives him 7 days notice. Okay. So MJF is still holding the cards, folks. He's like Seth Rollins. He always comes up with a plan. And he really he really did it to Hangman Adam Page, to where Hangman Adam Page is going to have a fungus in MJF, because MJF is going to be a fungus. That's exactly what's going to happen here. Okay? And because I think AEW wants to bring the championship back to MJF, because he is good at carrying the company. He was good as a champ carrying the company, and I believe he can do it. And I think it would help AEW with ratings, attendance, and everything else. Your thoughts, Smokin' Jim, Adam Copeland, and Christian Cage back together again. What do your thoughts on that? Stokely Hathaway out of the picture right now, injured. FTR trying to go after both Copeland and Cage, and they're also trying to go after the tag team belts. What are your thoughts on that team?
I like the team a lot, but you got to realize that Don Callis is putting together an army, man.
Oh,
and,
oh my gosh! You know what? I got to give you credit, man. You were the one that said about Don Callis. I thought he put a family together. I didn't think he put what you just said, an army. I mean, he put an army together. You're right. I mean, he's not putting a family. He's putting an army together. This guy is intent on scooping up everybody, winning every belt, and just hurting everybody and going out and getting things done. So, Don Callis is, he's getting his revenge in wrestling, I guess, because he was kind of like a redheaded stepchild there for a little while. And now he's, gotten back into everything again and things like that. So we'll see what goes on with him. Darby Allin coming back, going up against Jon Moxley and trying to take out the Death Riders. There's been some stories about that faction breaking up. Moxley's not happy with right now, I guess. And Claudio Castagnoli's out with an injury. And then Pac is out again. He's hurt he comes back, he'll be back for a match, and then he gets hurt. He's a MASH case. So we'll see what happens with that group. I think that faction is about to start shutting down, or they're going to start doing something with that group. I don't see them getting any stronger, doing anything else. Your thoughts, Smokin' Jim, Max Caster, and his old partner. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Still having their little feud. Billy Gunn kind of in the middle of this. What's your thoughts on that whole thing?
And the whole storyline with AEW has always been fantastic, man. You can't. It's hard to get a beat on it from week to week, man. The storylines are great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Their storylines have gotten better. At times we had spoken. When we had Bubba on the show here, Bubba Brewer, and the Allied Powers Wrestling Federation. He's the owner, and has some really good wrestling events, and in Indiana, PA, Johnstown, that kind of thing. And he's even said it. They were more about wrestling than talking, and now they're getting more and more involved in storylines. You're starting to see a little more of that going on right now. As I've told you, Tony Khan and his family's got him walking on eggshells right now. They're not happy with the way he's losing money. AEW has not made a profit since they've been in existence. The only reason they're there is because he has a boatload of money, but the family is get really frustrated with him and told him he needs to go out and start bringing some people in that know the wrestling business and let them run the company and quit getting it. You don't even be involved, more or less, because he knows nothing about wrestling. All he is a fan. And, bring in some experts, some people who've been around. I heard he's done that. He's got some people in creative and doing some different things. So we're going to find out where this goes and where his family goes with the money. A lot of their money now is being spent on Jacksonville's new stadium. I know that they have agreed to, pay some of the money to fix the stadium up because the public, the Jacksonville, government did not want to fork up the whole bill to fix the stadium for the Jaguars. And I don't know if he's reducing seating because they don't fill that place up anyway. They never have. I don't believe they probably ever will. So I don't know how far down they can reduce the seating. It was built for college purposes. It was always a college stadium. So we'll see where the cons go with this. But I will agree with you. The storylines have gotten better. And some of they're still keeping the talking at a less perspective than the WWE. And, and there's still more wrestling, but they brought in more storylines that are kind of doing what the WWE does, so we'll see what goes on. TNA, real quick here. Trick Williams is the TNA champ still. We're going to find out where he goes, how far he goes, and what's going on down there as well. And Smokin' Jim, any thing you want to add today here of anything before we wrap it up?
No, man. Awesome show as usual. Courtesy of you, bro.
And awesome opinions too. I mean, I really let it out today. I mean, I came, I said what I had to say, and I have some theories of some things, and usually I'm pretty right, but we're going to find out what happens. One other thing too, this show also is brought to you by Tony Moreno for Pittsburgh Mayor. If you live in the city of Pittsburgh, please vote for Tony Moreno for mayor. It's time for change. City of Pittsburgh has been out of order for a while now, and it's time for Tony to bring it back. Downtown, south side, north side, all big mess. Help Tony fix the city. Vote him in for mayor, Tony Moreno for mayor, City of Pittsburgh. All right, for Smokin' Jim Frazier, I'm Ralph Williams. It's been a pleasure being here with you again. We'll see you next Tuesday right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and also in the Kick Network and also in the Huddle Sports Network every single Tuesday, 5 to 6 p.m. We are here talking Wrestletalk. We're here all the time talking about the WWE. And please do not forget about tomorrow night at 7:30. The Ralph's Opinion, the way I see it, we start at 7:30. And we go on with, hang on a minute. Let me see if I can find that, where that is. Here we go. The Ralph's Opinion, the way I see it, show 7:30 tomorrow night. We start off with Ralph's Opinion. We're going to get into Wheeling, West Virginia and Chester, West Virginia on our series on falling casino towns. And then the week next Wednesday, the following Wednesday, before I leave for my trip to Pittsburgh, we are going to talk about Erie. Erie, Pennsylvania is losing money on their casino because they don't have New York anymore. What is causing Erie to lose money on their casino? We're going to talk about Erie, Pennsylvania. Casino towns losing money. 2 weeks ago, we talked about Atlantic City. We talked about Vegas losing money. And now we're going to get into Wheeling, West Virginia, Chester, West Virginia. And that's tomorrow night on Ralph's Opinion. We got a lot to talk about. The way I see it later on, Trump's good, the bad, and the ugly for the week. And we'll talk on the way I see it. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about as well. So tune in tomorrow, 7:30. First Ralph's Opinion till 8 o'clock, and 8 to 8:30, the Ralph's Opinion or the way I see it show. Until next week, For Smokin' Jim Frazier, have yourself a great night, and please be safe, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.